Hello and welcome to the Buzzerbeater Show, episode 51. Today, gonna talk about, of course, the trade deadline and some games. First off, my condolences to the Elgin Baylor family. If you don't know, Elgin Baylor died on March 22nd, 2021. He was 86 years old. He had a great career with the Lakers especially, and he was great with Jerry West and Will Chamberlain. Couldn't really overcome sometimes the Knicks and Celtics. He won championships though too, and he just had a great career. Lakers legend, I would even say. And yeah. I mean, I guess, I don't really know how he died, but I guess he didn't die of COVID. I hope he didn't die of COVID. I don't really know because family hasn't told the media yet. Hopefully it wasn't COVID. Hopefully he just slept and didn't wake up anymore. Because that's the nicest way to die, I guess. I mean, I would think that's the nicest way to die. Yeah, wait. So yeah, rest in peace, Elgin Baylor. So the trade deadline, not that crazy. I mean, it is, but it's like, yeah. Let me just start with it. So. Probably the biggest trades that have been made are like with the Magic especially. So the Magic traded away Nikola Vucevic to Chicago, and they traded Aaron Gordon to Denver. So I would say the Nikola Vucevic trade was pretty damn good. It's definitely a win for Chicago because Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic is a really good move. It's a great move. I mean, Zach LaVine needs somebody for him to control the offense a little more. I mean, who wants to trade like Kobe White? I don't know. So Vucevic is is in Chicago now, and I would grant that's definitely a win for me. And Denver getting Aaron Gordon is also a win for Denver because, as I can tell from the Magic, Aaron Gordon is more of a consistent shooter than Jamal Murray. Not saying Jamal Murray is not a good player. He's just. He had like his. The thing where he was really good was in the playoffs in the bubble. That was like consistent, clutch, carried his team almost. I mean, Nikola, the Joker was still clearly the better player, but he was more like of a. He was the primary scorer, I would say. But the thing was, now he's having these hot and cold nights, you know? He's not really that of a consistent scorer. In the bubble, he was consistent all the time. But for some reason now, I don't know. He can be a weird player when it comes to scoring, definitely. And I don't know. It seems to be a. I mean, I wouldn't say Aaron Gordon is also one of the most consistent shooters, but he's definitely more of a. He he relies more on his probably on his athleticism and more going to the basket. And I mean, Jamal Murray does that too, but like he's more of a he's just consistent because he goes more to the basket. And Jamal Murray is a shooter. I mean, Aaron Gordon is a shooter too, but he's more consistent at going to the basket, as I just said. And I think it's good that they got Aaron Gordon, because if you can't play with the Joker, it's like, who can you play with? And it will probably turn out, if Aaron Gordon is actually a good player and more consistent shooter than Jamal Murray is, or if he's or if he's just he was just lucky on the Magic, you know. And I would say we will see. Like, this I don't really know if we can already say this is a win. I mean, the Nikola Vucevic trade is definitely a win with Chicago. Yeah. So the Kyle Lowry got traded to the Clippers, I guess. So now the Clippers have Kyle Lowry, so they have more, like, they have a better point. I mean, I think the trade him really, but it's probably pretty sure that's, yeah. So Kyle Lowry is right now with the Clippers, and I don't know, like, he's he actually wanted to go to the 76ers, to Philadelphia's hometown, but simply what the Toronto would have gotten for him was simply not good. So, I mean, they weren't willing to do anything for it. And I mean, Toronto, they're rebuilding again. So they thought, yeah, Kyle Lowry, we love it. I think Toronto loves Kyle Lowry. The fans love him. The organization loves him. And I mean, Toronto has one of the most loyal NBA fans, like, ever, or very close of all time. So the thing is, he's really, I mean, the point guard that the Clippers had was Reggie Jackson and Patrick Beverley. So first off, Reggie Jackson, he's okay, but he's not like, is he like a playoff or finals point guard? Or for the, I don't believe that the Clippers will win any championships, but he's just he's a better fit than Reggie Jackson, because Reggie Jackson sometimes can be not of a consistent defender. I would even say, as you saw against the Brooklyn Nets. And I do not think that Patrick Beverley is a good defender. He's not somebody that could bring up the ball. That's just, he's just too, he has the energy. He has so much energy that you would rather have him as a defender, especially against LeBron. Yeah, of LeBron, because, bro, this guy is so disrespectful towards LeBron. I mean, they have to do at some point like a. So if you don't know the channel SB Nation, or now Secret Base, they do like beef history. And beef history is like it's like talking about all the beefs that happened recent, or happened a couple years ago, happened like decades ago. And they should probably talk about this beef, because LeBron and Patrick Beverley have been clashing heads like for I don't know how long. Yeah, so definitely better for Clippers for getting Kyle Lowry, because now Kyle Lowry also wants to go to the after that he actually wants to sign as a free agent with the 76ers probably, and that would be really good. Like it's probably like it would give it more like Kyle Lowry would probably give the offense a little more flow, so even Ben Simmons can even play better. And it's he would definitely just he would definitely help Ben Simmons with scoring, because right now Ben Simmons is like Joel Embiid is the main scorer. We know that, but Joel Embiid is still out with injury, and yeah, it's. I mean, the 76ers are winning games, but they're like. Ben Simmons has to get more involved. Like right now, Tobias Harris is like the main guy to give the ball to. Like Tobias Harris, yeah, but it should be Ben Simmons, you know? It should be Ben Simmons. So when if the 76ers have Kyle Lowry in free agency, that would be a massive W for them. And yeah. I mean, I don't really want to talk that long about the trade deadline, just because I'm just going to talk about the highlights of them. I'm not going to go into every single detail, because I also have to talk about other things on this thing. I have a huge script right now, and I just have to go through it. So, yeah. So, I think this was really disappointing this season is that all the MVP runners, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Joel Embiid, are all injured right now. So it could be that Nikola Jokic could actually win the MVP. I have no problem with it, but it should actually be LeBron. It should actually be LeBron. It should. High ankle sprain. Yeah. I once had that too, by the way. And I told y'all he would get injured. High ankle sprain is not. It hurts. And it hurts definitely in the moment. And it feels like your foot is like you feel really unstable. That's I mean, it's like duh, but like even after the injury, when you first like play basketball again, it feels really unstable. And I heard a lot of people also talking on the Ringer Basketball NBA show, the podcast, that LeBron will probably not be back until like a month. And I mean, it was a game against the Hawks, you know, and AD's already injured, so it was really, really rough couple of games of for the Lakers. And Dennis Schroeder has to do all by himself, so yeah. It will be tough for him. It will be tough for... I mean, Wesley Matthews is going to get LeBron minutes. Wesley Matthews. No disrespect to Wesley Matthews, but please compare LeBron James to Wesley Matthews. I mean, come on, bro. Like, LeBron is so close to Michael Jordan right now, in my opinion. After winning the 2020 championship, after everybody was like, nah, he's not winning anything anymore. He's so close. And it just hurts to see that he's getting injured. I mean, hopefully, if he's a month gone, he will probably be back at the end of April. And the regular season will probably start like at the end of April or maybe even May. So he can't really do his case anymore for MVP. Probably Jokic would probably win it, or maybe even James Harden again. I mean, it was a really close run between Joel Embiid and LeBron James, but now they're both injured. And that's just the problem. Like, in today's game, it's tougher to, like, hold on to not get injured. I mean, the pace is faster. You have to have amazing running form. And you have to have, if you, like, it's more athletic league than it has been forever, like, ever, because, I mean, every generation gets more athletic. That's just the thing. Like, the generation in the next 30 years is probably going to be more athletic than this generation. And that's completely fine. But thing is, like, you have to, as an NBA player, you have to get used to that. LeBron has been getting used to that. He has been used to that for his entire career of getting not injured and trying to stay with the pace and having amazing running form. But the problem is, if you're 36 years old, at some point your body is probably not that resistant that it has been like 10 years ago. So he starts to he's not really falling or something, but he's definitely just, he's more, how do I put this? He's really, he's starting to crumble a little. I mean, LeBron hasn't had, like, major injuries. He had, like, this one injury where he tore something, like, in his upper leg against the Golden State Warriors, where they won, actually. That was, like, 2019, right? I guess, yeah. And it was still when AD wasn't there yet. So, pre-AD trade. And I don't know. It's now, like, if Dennis Schroeder is running the show, they're like the 2016 or 2015 Hawks. And that team was not good. If Dennis Schroeder is the main guy on a team, nah. I love Dennis Schroeder. German, I don't just like him because he's German, just because I like him, bro. He's a fast-paced guy who you could trust to give you a bucket in the last minute. And he's a really, really consistent scorer. The thing is, he can't run the team by his own. He can't be the main guy. LeBron is the main guy. AD is the main guy. I mean, it's yeah. So, the Pacers versus the Heat. Both of these teams cannot finish in the clutch. It's just simple as that. They went into OT, and I was like, oh my god, bro. The Pacers were doing, like, some ISO shit that I didn't get at all. They were, like, dribbling the ball between their legs and, like, oh yeah, grab the ball. Oh yeah, I'm gonna cross you up. Like, Malcolm Brogdon was doing that, and Karis LeVert. If you don't know who's gonna take the last shot, just give it to, I mean, I wouldn't say Bam Adebayo against Domantas Sabonis is necessarily a mismatch it's definitely a mismatch maybe in the physical way, and not necessarily in the physical way, but it's definitely a difference between a mental game, because this is now the fourth year of the Bam Adebayo on the Heat, and Sabonis he's an all-star. I mean, Bam is also an all-star, but he's more of a thinker, you know. He knows what he's doing. I mean, Bam also knows what he's doing, but he's still figuring stuff out. And stuff is like to not foul him in the post and like and not let him score at the same time. And then that's pretty tough, you know? Against that dude of like Domantas Sabonis, that's pretty tough. Yeah. It was just tough to watch. I mean, it was a good game. It was an exciting game, but just the scoring at the end, ugh. It was just tough to watch between those two games, between those two teams. So, I don't, I, the Knicks versus the Sixers. So, we lost by, how much was it? By 2? And it just shows we can hold against the Sixers without Joel Embiid. We can play against the Nets and almost win. Every time we get a stupid call, maybe not against the Nets, but especially against the Sixers. How? No. Tobias Harris get not touched in the last minute. We could have won that. Like, Julius Randle was giving us all of his heart. He was so frustrated. He hit a 3, and then we went to OT. But the problem was, he couldn't hit the last shot in the last minute in OT. Because guess what? Tobias Harris got free throws that he didn't even deserve. Nobody touched him. And he just missed the layup. That's it. It's just like, stop favoring Philadelphia. We could win these games if we didn't get these bullshit calls. Nobody touched him. And then the rim's like, oh my god. Julius Randle shot the ball and just rattle out. Bruh. I mean, Richard Robinson had a great debut. Debut. How? Debut. Oh, I forget it. He went scoring 7 for 9 from the field. Against the Wizards. And they had a good game against the Wizards. But then this happened. So, 76ers game was, we should have won that. Like, Ben Simmons was nowhere to be found, and Tobias Harris was lucky. That was just a lucky win for the 76ers. We could have won that. And then we had a really tough game against the 70s. I mean, we were down by 16 at the half, or 15. And then, like, last night. And then we came back, and we won by 4. And that was such a good win. Like, it felt really good. Like, I was like, how are we losing to the Wizards? And now we're we're the 5th seed, and the thing is, we only have to be, if we don't want to end up in this tournament, we only have to be in the 6th seed. If we're in the 6th seed, we're all good. We don't have to play in this tournament. I don't really know if the Knicks are going to win in the tournament, because they're tough teams in there. The Pacers, maybe even the Heat, the Celtics too. The Magic. I mean, the Magic are, like, as I just said, they're completely, I don't really know if the Magic are good right now. Probably not. I mean, they have Otto Porter now. Yay! So, I guess they just have to get the 6th or the 7th seed. That's it. And as I said, was a really good game against the Wizards, and I mean, at first it wasn't, but then in the end, they pulled themselves together and they beat the Wizards. I mean, but we can't lose against the Wizards, and with Bradley Beal being cold, Nah, not losing to the Wizards. Nope. And that didn't happen, so we won by 4. And RJ Barrett was like so pumped up. I like that. That was so cool. Like he was so pumped up, and he was bumping on his chest. He was catching. He was even sometimes catching bodies. Like, ooh, yeah. So the Celtics, I don't know what's up with the Celtics. So Celtics were actually winning. Like they were down, but then they came back. And guess who takes the last shot? Daniel Tice. Daniel motherfucking Tice. Okay, first off, you have Kemba Walker, you have Jason Tatum, you have Jaylen Brown on your team. I already talked about this like 2 or 1 week ago. This is a disappointment. This is definitely a disappointment. They definitely miss Canner. They definitely miss a guy who could actually play pick and roll with Jason Tatum and give him a clear shot. But what they're doing right now, I don't get it. And I'm happy because I don't like the Celtics. I don't like Jaylen Brown. I mean, it just happened. Like, people like. I know a lot of Celtics fans, but what I don't like is their opinion about the team. Their opinion about the team is so delusional. So fucking delusional. You got to get that. Like, what? How do you... No. Like, listen to my other podcasts. You can hear why they're so delusional. But who's the main guy on the team scoring? I don't know. Jaylen Brown probably knows the most points average, but he's still not getting the fucking ball. Kemba Walker? No. Jason Tatum probably too, but he's not getting the ball either. He's just getting these easy layups, but for some reason I think, oh, give it to Daniel Tice or Kemba Walker. What? Bro. I don't know what is happening right under this team, but yeah, I mean, that's why they lost the game. They should have given it to somebody, but not Daniel Tice. I'm sorry, yeah. So, this podcast was a long one, so if you like this podcast, leave a like and turn on notifications. And of course, subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications. See you all next time. Peace!